Hi there, nice to see you again. Today we're going to talk about one of the most dedicated moments in the life of the first time homebuyer. It happens that when you're approaching a process that you never went through, something that is real new to your life, you may be worried. There are a lot of gray spots, areas that you don't have a clear concept or you were never explained about. Education is missing, or maybe you were told something that is not right or is not really well explained to you. Happens that many first time home buyers approach the process with a lot of fears. Or maybe some other concept that we brought from another place. For example, myself, the place I come from, when you want to buy a home, you better have more than 50% of. So it was totally out of my mind. I never thought it was possible until I just met someone that told me that you could buy a home with 5 or 20%. What? 5 or 20% down? Yes, that's what they told me. And then I started to think about maybe that's something possible for myself. Or like with Roberto, he was told that real estate agents were not working for their customers and that most of the times they were trying to push properties that were going to create a better commission.
There's always like this comment, so like people talking, saying like, "Oh no, be careful with real estate agents because they will push the houses that they want to sell."
And at the end, he must admit he was totally wrong. His agent fought hard for his interest, defending every dollar that he was going to put into his new home.
And then when we got to this house, he actually told us, and the initial offer was lower than the asking price. And he told us, again, in all honesty, he told us, I think that it's a little bit high at the time.
So he was hoping to keep looking for some
Yes.
other places.
Oh yeah.
He was not in a hurry. I want to close this deal now.
No. His advice,
Even though he knew you were willing to do
yeah, his advice was maybe like, don't, like, I think it's high and we can find something else. But we really like the house. We really liked it. So
great professional and talk well about the industry.
Yeah. And again, I felt confident and I trusted him, and yeah, I felt good with him.
Do you hear that? Roberto is saying that they decided to move forward with the home, the house that he bought, despite the real estate agent said that it was not the best deal and maybe it was a little bit overpriced. That he was recommending try to go for some other options to get the best dollar for dollar option in the market. During my training, my initiation here at Real Broker, Paul Paiva brought this concept into our first training session.
Every single person you connect with, there's one question I want you to ask every single one of them. Okay? This is one of the best icebreakers I can tell you right now. Are you a first-time home buyer? When you have a first-time home buyer, they are scared, absolutely.
Do you hear it?
They are scared, absolutely, to purchase their first home. They actually look to us to help them, to support them. If I know I'm talking to a first-time home buyer, I switch gears on my conversation. I'm going to talk differently to a first-time home buyer than I would with a secondary or a third or an investor, because each one of them is going to require a different language. And if they are, the next words out of your mouth would it be of value for us to sit down and discuss the steps of purchasing a home? Has anyone else discussed with you the steps of purchasing your first home? You know what usually the answer is? No. I have not talked to anybody. And when they say yes to you, which they will, 9 out of 10 times they will say yes to you if you are genuine on the phone. And what ended up happening was when you meet them in person, now it's all you. You are the value that shows up. And you got to be able to come and explain the process for your first-time home buyer and be able to help them navigate through. I want you to understand that the lead persona, these are not leads, these are actually people. So forget about calling them leads. These are human beings that have registered on our website for a reason or another.
We are aware that you, the first-time homebuyers, might be afraid. The real estate agent is here to help you to go through the process. In my case, as a first-time homebuyer, I met two wonderful professionals, a real estate agent and a mortgage broker. Both let me go at my own pace. They asked me what was my situation. We met a couple of coffees with each other. And once they understood what was my current situation and my possibilities in the future, they gave me some sort of what I call homework. They gave me some assignments and they told me, okay, I need you to fill these boxes if you're willing to buy this house. Both professionals, they helped me to understand my potentials as a buyer and to maximize that purchasing capacity. They explained me what were my options and what was my maximum, the top that I could do. With that, my wife and I checked the market and say, okay, looks good. And then is when we went for the homework. It was a 12 months process from, let's say, February 2018 to February 2019, when the application for mortgage was submitted. Possession was around May 2019. So I would say 15 months process when every step was explained to me, when there were no gray zones, and then when I felt safe, well, and protected by my professionals. That's my goal here. I want you to call me. Give me 10, 15 minutes of your time. That will help me to understand your needs and as well as your possibilities. We will draw a plan. And if that makes sense to you only in that situation, then the steps will be taken. And it's only up to you because we will need your consent and your desire, your will to make it. If that's the case, we're going to be obtaining. We will have a key and possession within the timeline. I hope that this video helps you to erase some of your fears. I really recommend you to meet your professionals in real life. Coffee, office, phone, that will really help you to set down all of that anxiety. Call me anytime. I am ready to assist you. And here on Real Broker, I have all the tools and the backup that you need to make it possible. See you soon.